Right, so I'm gonna go Tesco in a minute. Not looking forward to it. I just need one onion. One onion, that's all I need. And I'm gonna see how difficult it is to get that one onion. I got my onion, success. I didn't get any washing up liquid, which I did need, so I'm gonna go and have a look for that somewhere else. With the bread aisle, I actually, while I was filming it, I had one of the bread staff, the bakery staff, laughing at me. And I asked him, I said, like, do you have deliveries every day? He said, yeah, we had a delivery this morning, and this is what's left, which was nothing. Sorry for the appearance. Yeah, I'm trying to see how long I can go without needing to wear makeup. To be honest, I don't wear much makeup anyway, so yeah, anyway. So I never thought I'd be making a video like this. This is just something that I can watch at a later date when hopefully things have settled down and everything's kind of gone back to normal, and where I can look back and be like, wow, that's crazy. But as of today, the 22nd of March 2020, we are currently living in a global pandemic. Never ever in my wildest dreams thought that this would happen. I don't think anybody did. Yeah, I'm living through the coronavirus COVID-19 times. Basically, I'm just gonna run through some things that have been happening up until now, and this is just gonna be like it's going to be a vlog basically, maybe day to day depending on how things change, for what it's like living in a pandemic. Hopefully it'll be some use to me in the future or other people in the future. You can look back and be like, shit got real. I'd say it was probably about 2 months ago. My mum told me about this virus in China that was killing people. Didn't know much about it. I hadn't heard anything about it. She'd just seen it on the news. Didn't pay much attention. I was like, oh right, okay. That was it. Pretty much forgot about it for a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks. I remember it did pop up in the last pub quiz that I went to, which was probably, say, about 6 weeks ago. And I remember the question was, where did the like coronavirus in China originate from? And it was, as we all know now, Wuhan, China. But no, like, I don't think anyone got it right, because it just wasn't, I don't know, like, yeah, it wasn't that covered on the news. People didn't think it was so serious. Yeah, and then a few weeks after that, numbers in Italy were going up of confirmed cases of people with the coronavirus, and there started to be deaths related to it. People were getting like checked at airports and things like that for the temperatures, and then before long Italy went into lockdown. The number of deaths kept rising, and then other countries were confirming cases of this coronavirus in their own countries. And yeah, it started, it was quite slow at first, I feel, and then it just went boom, and then all of a sudden people started stocking up on hand sanitizer and toilet roll. This will be the year of having no toilet roll in any of the shops. I don't understand why people started stockpiling toilet roll. I don't think anyone, I think at the end of this we'll look back and be like, why do people stockpile toilet roll? But anyway, people did. So you couldn't get hand sanitizer anywhere. You still can't get hand sanitizer anywhere. So that was the first noticeably big thing to happen, I suppose, a hand sanitizer, toilet paper shortage. And then I'd say a week and a half later, people started panic buying everything. So like tins of things were becoming scarce, bread, eggs, milk, definitely soap became like, you couldn't get soap anywhere. And then
They had to put limits on how much of things that you could buy. Like you couldn't, still now, like you can't buy a certain amount of paracetamol, all things like that, like essentials, basically. But yeah, like you'd go walking through the shops. Like I'll put some footage in between all this. Aisles would just be empty, but people are really struggling because like people have babies and things like that, and they can't get nappies. People are struggling to get just day-to-day items, fresh fruit, fresh veg, tins of beans, like even just like stuff that we don't even think about. Me and my friend were having a conversation just on the phone, and I was saying, oh, I managed to get a tin of chopped tomatoes the other day, and she said, when did we ever think that we would be talking about, wow, we've got a bottle of washing up liquid, we found a tin of beans somewhere. Like, who knew that it would come to this? It's just crazy. But yeah, and then social, like people started to self-isolate, so people with compromised immune systems, people who maybe had elderly people at home, or looked after elderly people. For all sorts of reasons, people started self-isolating, but people were still going to like pubs and restaurants, and it was because they hadn't, at the start of last week, the government had suggested to not go to pubs and restaurants, but had not mandatory closed them down. So then the smaller businesses couldn't claim like a tax break or a rent break or anything like that because they weren't being mandatory closed down, if that makes any sense. So they sort of had to keep open as long as possible. As with where I work at a crazy golf place, and we had to keep as open as long as possible because as a business we couldn't afford to just close and then keep paying rent and everything with no income coming in. So it wasn't until Friday, so I think it was wasn't until Friday the 20th of March, they made it mandatory that pubs, restaurants, clubs, leisure centres close. So now I'm currently off work. The government have said that they're paying 80% of workers' wages, which is fantastic. That means we're not going to go into maybe as big as a recession after this as thought. But we'll soon see what happens with that. Things have gotten pretty crazy. I think that's pretty much everything up until today. I feel like it's such a draining thing what's going on. So you're constantly bombarded with it. It's the news. It's all everyone's talking about because it's all that's going on social media. It's on YouTube. It's just absolutely everywhere. And I think that everyone shouldn't feel bad about taking a step back and sort of not watching the news all the time, because we all know what's going on, and it's just making people really, really anxious. Oh, Primark apparently are gonna close. That was 4 minutes ago that was announced. Oh no, apparently parks are starting to close. I hope not. Oh, London parks, to urge tourists away. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Just got, so it says of today, coronavirus cases past 300,000 around the world, that is a lot of people. Personally, I believe that we should be on lockdown. I think that it's a matter of time before we're going to be put on lockdown. It's really hard today as well, because today is Mother's Day in the UK. So obviously everyone wants to see their mums, and luckily I live with mine already, so I get to see her. But yeah, it's a hard time. I know like a lot of countries have gone into lockdown already. I feel like our government, yeah, maybe it's doing the best that it can, but I feel like it's been very late with enforcing mandatory closures and things like that. I feel like we've waited way too late. Okay. So as of 9 a.m. on the 21st of March, 72,818 people have been tested in the UK, of which 67,800 were confirmed negative and 5,018 were confirmed positive. So there's around like 5,020 confirmed cases. Obviously that's going to be a lot higher because a lot of people don't know that they've got it. A lot of people have much milder symptoms. As of then, 233 patients in the UK who had tested positive for the virus had died, and that number's rising every day. I think yesterday that rose by, was it 55, I think, or something like that. So it's rising every day. The NHS is absolutely on its knees. Big thank you to all the NHS workers, support workers, people who have to go to work in like supermarkets or caring for vulnerable people or people in need. Like my mum, she works in dementia care, and obviously she can't just go home and stay at home. So yeah, big thank you for everybody doing what they can. Us as the general public really need to be thinking about doing what we can to stop the spread of this disease. So, you know, as hard as it is, not go out and party at somebody's house and things like that. I know it's so tempting, but yeah, so I'll keep you guys updated. Thanks for watching.